Yo Novatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here, coming at you live from San Jose, California. Once again, absolutely beautiful day out here on the West Coast. Let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's ride. Reacting to Shadetree Surgeon's recent video, his dealership video. The Ducati dealership broke my bike. There's a few things that I picked up on from seeing that video. It's a 30-minute video. I'm gonna try to kind of share my own experiences and give you guys my own 2 cents, my own opinion. I don't know if you guys care, but in case you guys were wondering, I've seen this sort of stuff happen at the dealership, and it's actually a little bit more common than you guys would think. Sometimes, I mean, it could be as small as a dome light, as a minor light, maybe a signal light goes out after the dealer visit or the dealer service. I mean, these are things that are just not related with one another. Sometimes I've even seen batteries die after a routine maintenance service. Something that's routine, small, doesn't have anything to do with the battery. You know, most mechanics don't touch batteries. The only time they'll touch a battery is if it's a low charge, maybe a hard start. You know, just something that's related with low voltage. Some type of issue. That's the only time I've seen a mechanic actually test the battery. But as far as you know, it being routine for a maintenance, 10K, 15K, that's not heard of. So I'm just saying these minor things because I've seen them happen. People come into the service shop, they leave, and then something unrelated happens. And typically, this is usually what happens. They come back and then they say, you know what, you guys broke my bike, or you guys broke my car. Typically, that's what happens. Something kind of like what happened to Shadetree Surgeon. I'm going to get into the details, but I'm just sharing what typically happens. So if it's a battery thing, you know, it's unrelated. Customers are upset. You know, they start saying you guys broke it. You guys did an inspection. You guys are supposed to, you know, check this, see if it works. But like I said, not everything gets checked. It's a safety inspection, and that just includes brakes, tires, wear and tear items, and a few. I mean, if you really look at that list, I've already mentioned this in my other videos. If you guys look at the list, a lot of it is mundane checklist. We're talking about lights, headlights, brake lights. Yes, that's all. You know, that's all part of the safety inspection. It's nothing like, you know, check the torque specs on the wheels, check torque specs on swing arm. You know, it's nothing like that. It ain't. It's just visual checks. Check engine light, see if it's on. That's a check. Look at the rearview mirrors. Are they loose? Nope. That's another check. It's just minor, small things. They just kind of, like, you know, it's like history books, it's like school books. They just fluff it up with a lot of nonsense. Most of the checklists, safety inspections, they're just nonsense. The ones that do count is just the brakes and the tires, and, you know, just a couple other minor, you know, things. Maybe it's the plug gasket, metal shavings. This is where, you know, Shadetree mentioned on his 10K service. Something like this popped up, but I'm gonna get to that in a bit. So overall, it could be anything. It just because it went to the dealership or a service shop, it doesn't necessarily mean it's related with the mechanic or the dealership. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the findings of the mechanic at the 10K service. Now, shavings, breaking in. There's going to be a break-in period. I don't know with Ducati. I'm not an expert. I don't know, you know, I don't know what the mechanic found or what he deemed as routine or normal wear and tear. I mean, if he would have found those chunks that Shadetree showed on the video, then you know what? That says a lot about Ducatis. If the mechanic didn't think that was abnormal to find those huge pieces of metal on the 10K service, then I would say yikes. If that's, you know, routine, if that's normal to find those, you know, metal pieces during the 10K service on Ducatis, I'd say that, you know, Ducati has some big issues or bigger problems than just one bike. But you know, I'm just going based off of what Shadetree surgeon was saying. What I'm guessing, you know, from his 10K service, maybe the mechanic found some regular metal shavings, didn't think it was anything to mention, and you know, Shadetree surgeons just said, okay, all right, you know, they are the experts, like he said. This is the certified trained Ducati technician, and you know, it's a multi dealer dealerships, you know, official. Probably they probably represent Honda, Ducati, Yamaha. It's one of those dealerships. It's not like a Harley-Davidson where the technician sees nothing but Harleys. Maybe he's seen that in other bikes and he related it with the Ducati. You know, there's a number of different things that could have happened. But like I said, we're gonna get to the dark stuff in a bit. The stuff that I'm hoping is not the case, because it's gonna be bad. So let's go ahead and get into Shadetree surgeon's recent 15K service visit with the dealership. Somehow the mechanic misidentified the metal object, the shavings, whatever you want to call it, from a piston ring to something else. I can't remember what it was. I saw the full video, but it wasn't a piston ring. Once a Harley-Davidson technician saw it, he knew what it was, and they were able to factor that down. And I'm glad he went for a second opinion, because you know, that repair would have cost him thousands of dollars. So seeing it the way it came out to, it's a difference. It's a huge difference from what you know, the other mechanic at the different shop. I can't remember off the top of my head. You know, he deemed it to be something else. Turns out that's a good chance that's what it was. The piston rings, you know, a repair between both of those, it's a huge cost. We're talking about the thousands. Instead of it being in the thousands, now we're probably talking about being somewhere in the hundreds, and that's just mainly labor. And if it's a Ducati, then you're probably looking at high hundreds, maybe even thousands, if he decides to go back to the dealership, which he already said that he's not going back to that dealership. And I'll get into that in a bit as well, because I've mentioned you know, the dealer network issue in some of my videos. All right, so you know what, with that being said, the whole misidentifying the actual metal piece, what should have been what the mechanic probably thought. Like I said, he probably works on different bikes. Maybe he made a mistake, just like they were mentioning. Maybe the dealership, the shop made a mistake. Maybe it's possible. I've seen mistakes at my dealers. You know, they happen. I've already mentioned a few big ones. You know, like, you know, people dropping vehicles, people forgetting to install lug nuts on the vehicles, wheels coming off, caliper bolts being not installed. All of this has happened. I've seen it. And you know, you go to a dealership expecting a certain amount of professionalism, but you know, it's just like any other shop. There's going to be mistakes. You know, it's going to happen. So let's go ahead and get into the dark side of the service shop, of what probably, I mean, if the mechanic knew it wasn't a piston ring, if the technician knew about it at the 10K service when it was under warranty, if maybe even the service advisor, I mean, it's all probable. I'm not gonna say that this is something that they did, but it is possible. A lot of service shops pay their employees commission, and we're talking a difference, like I said, thousands and hundreds. If it turns out that it was just a minor, you know, some kind of a gap filler for the primary, or you know, for the transmission, like he mentioned in the video, then you know, that's only a couple $100. You know, a percentage of that goes to the service advisor, because you know, they're the ones that found the issue, and then the mechanic, he gets paid hourly because he was the one who recommended or found the problem. But if we're talking about, you know, what they recommended, a full engine rebuild, overhaul, Now we're talking maybe 8s to 10s of thousands of dollars, labor, parts, everything, you know, bought from Ducati. It's a huge repair bill, and that repair bill is a lot of profit for the dealership. It's, you know, it's a lot of revenue. There's, you know, that's a lot of money, and $10,000, $8,000, whatever it could be, because, you know, it's a Ducati specialty shop. You're probably looking at $150 an hour. Like I said, every dealership's different, and that's a big bonus for somebody at the end of the day. And, you know, it's a big amount of money for the dealership, the service shop. These service shops can bring in, you know, anywhere from $70,000 a month to $200,000 a month. Every dealership's a little bit different, the size. You know, I'm not going to get into that stuff, but between warranty pay and customer pay, it's a huge difference. Now, some of the dealerships I've worked with, manufacturers pay maybe 2/3 of what a customer would pay. So, for example, one of my dealerships, the labor rate was $135, if I remember right, $135 an hour. Labor rate for a warranty repair. I've already, you know, discussed the warranty repairs in some of my other videos. You guys could check those out. Warranty pay, you're looking at about, what was it, $76 an hour or $67 an hour, and that's, you know, that's a huge difference. And with the warranty repair, the manufacturer, they're not as lenient on time. What does that mean? That means for a customer repair, something that might be, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or 40 minutes, you know, for repair, the customer's going to pay 1 hour flat, 1 hour rate for those repairs, as opposed to the manufacturer rate. If a repair, warranty repair, is half an hour, and the mechanic, you know, spends 35, 45 minutes on that repair, well, guess what? The mechanic's not working for free. And I already mentioned this in one of my other videos. The mechanic is not working for free for those 15 minutes. That's the way it works. They're not as lenient. And sometimes the service advisor, he needs to make calls to the manufacturer about, you know, overspending or budgets or something like that. Typically, when they say, you know what, this repair should only take the mechanic 2 hours of warranty, then that's it. I mean, a service advisor or maybe the service manager, he could call the manufacturer and ask for a little bit more time. It's possible. So based off of that information, is it possible that the dealership was taking them for a ride? Maybe. I mean, like I said, as a service writer, would you want to take a job? Warranty doesn't pay commission. You take a job, maybe 10 hours, or do you wait, you know, a few months, until the customer's out of warranty, and then you hit them with that big bill? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Is there people like that? Yes, there is. There is people like that'll do that to someone. Hey, it's happened. I've seen worse, but I'm not gonna you know, share that story in this video, because this video is way over time, my restraint. So you guys just, you know, go ahead. Oh, one more thing before I let you guys go. I just wanted to bring up the fact that he mentioned now he has to ride maybe an hour away, and that's something that I mentioned in my Indian video, where a lot of people didn't like me mentioning. Yes, dealer network could be a problem, just like you see Shadetree Surgeon mention. What did he mention? He's not going back to the dealership. So what's his next alternative option? He has to now ride 1 hour out of his way to take that bike in for service. You know what? You don't have to take these bikes back to the manufacturer dealership. I mean, yes, they have special tools, and yes, they have special electronics that communicate with the ECU, but that's mainly for major repairs. For routine maintenance repairs, you don't have to take it to the dealership. You can take it to any shop. It's not going to void your warranty. You don't have to worry about that. And if you wanted to, you could just keep your receipts, keep it in your owner's manual for the routine maintenance book, for the maintenance book, whatever you want to call it. You just keep it there, keep all your receipts, and if anything were to happen, which it did, then he's covered. You know, the shop should have helped him out. He's been going to that shop. You know, he took his bike for his maintenance repairs, or for his maintenance, his routine maintenance. He took his bike in with that dealership. They should have, you know, helped him out a little bit. The service manager could have called Ducati and requested a split off between the dealership and the manufacturer. I've seen this happen before. Sometimes they'll split the cost. Maybe there's a mistake. Maybe there's, you know, just something. You know what? I'm not gonna get detailed with it. This video is already too long. You guys go ahead and leave your comments down below. Do you guys think that that the dealership was trying to take Shadetree for a ride? You think the service manager, or the service advisor, the service writer, you think he was trying to make his commission for the month? I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna say it's not true. It's possible. Is the mechanic trying to rack up hours? Is he trying to, you know, get more work orders? Was he behind on hours? I'm not gonna get into it anymore. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.